During a stressful watch at BMO Stadium, it was James Pantemis who was the stress ball for the Portland Timbers in a 1-1 draw where the Timbers keeper had 10 saves to escape with the point.
Drives it, left back, Pantemis again, Bouanga! Oh, was that a fingertip? It was unbelievable, James Pantemis!
Getting so many shots kind of gives you into that rhythm, that momentum of just saving. So you see the ball a lot, you're on it. But I mean, you just treat it like any other game. Like you could have 2 shots, you could have 20 shots. I think the mentality never changes. At the end of the day, my job is to keep the ball out, whether it's 1 time or 20.
It's a valuable point, but definitely in terms of identity, in terms of how we want to play, there is a lot of work to be done.
The 4th minute feels like an eternity ago, but what a play between Christopher Velde to David da Costa for that goal. David da Costa oftentimes likes to hang out at the top of the box, but he recognizes the situation and goes at a full sprint. As for Christopher Velde, I love that he cut to the inside of the pitch there instead of going to the wing.
It's the Denny Bouanga, not just because they wear the same number, plays it through, near post! They keep scoring! David da Costa, a goal that you hang up in the Louvre!
It's been apparent in both games, but the Timbers need to deal with the opposition press better. You look at some of the most talented teams in MLS, the possession sides of recent years, like a Wilfred Nancy Columbus, there's always 4 passing options. And it felt in this game against an LAFC team that is not usually a pressing side. They are known more for their counter-attacking soccer, but they changed things up after losing the last 2 games, and the Timbers were not able to get through this LAFC team. And I'm going to be a hypocrite for a moment. Last Saturday against Chicago, I said the Timbers had a lack of attacking intent, and they more so favored the possession aspect of the game despite being down for most of it. Today, it felt like whenever they had the ball, they were thinking south to north immediately. It probably isn't what Martin Cifuentes enjoyed to watch. He is somebody that wants to have possession, as you know. The other team usually cannot score when you have the ball, and the Timbers were never able to take a breather within possession this game. If they had it, it never really reached double-digit passes overall, and LAFC were able to scoop it right back and go get another chance.
We need to find a balance between the identity that we are trying to build and the fact that we had very few sessions to work on our build-up situations. So I think that for some of the moments that we were able to beat that pressure, we created interesting situations. In the first half, I remember 2 quite open situations with Cole, and then in the second one as well, one from Amir, another one from Kevin. The one from Kevin, I think, was as well a very good chance. So yeah, again, it's a work in progress. The most important for me is that the attitude there for the players was very good. That we got a point away on the road. That is something that the team has struggled lately, and that I take it as a good foundation of trying to solve slowly some of the things that we want to improve, like having a better start of the game, which in the last 2 we have done.
Statistically, BMO Stadium is the toughest place to play in the Western Conference since they entered the league in 2018. And statistically, Denny Bouanga is the best winger in the Western Conference over the last 3 years, where he scored 20-plus goals in each season. Given those circumstances, I thought Eric Miller, who hadn't started a single MLS game in a year, played very well in this game. Denny Bouanga, of course, had the unreal goal, but goals from outside of the box are going to happen when it's a strike of that quality. He held Bouanga largely in check for about an hour this game. And Miller was clearly gassed by the end of the contest, but in a last resort option where Bai tore his ACL and Juan Mosquera also out for the season, Miller put in a very good shift overall.
Jamie, of course, had an important game, so that's one of the positives. That I think Jamie, Eric as well, had a tough game against one of the best players of the league, Bouanga, and still he managed quite well. With the injury of Jimmer just 30 seconds after we made the sub, Ian, that has been away for a while, he had to jump straight, and I think he did a good job.
I feel like we've created good relationships with everybody. Like everybody knows what they need to do. I'm super happy with everybody, and especially Eric and Ian, who came on, who may not have had a lot of minutes this year, but they put in an amazing shift. And I think it just goes to show our depth and the quality of our squad. So we got to keep building. We got to hopefully try and concede a bit less. But at the end of the day, like, our job is to defend and to save. So that's what we're there to do, and that's what we're going to do.
While the Portland Timbers will be happy to come away with this game with the point, there was chances in the opening half of play to double their lead. I think about Cole Bassett. Between the 30th and 40th minute, he had two chances at the top of the box, one of them a low shot, a whisker wide, and the other wide of the near post. A player of his quality with his end product needs to at least test Hugo Lloris there, because if the Portland Timbers went up 2-0 before halftime, it is a whole different game plan going into the second 45. Another chance that comes to mind, there was a cross that came from the left wing. It was about a quarter stride behind Kevin Kelsey, but he got his laces and his feet all wrong there and wasn't able to even register a shot.
There were certain moments where if we were to be a little bit more clinical, I think the game changes a lot. So I think the message for us in the locker room, and I think the mentality is that, sure, we take the point and the positive, but we know we could be a lot better, and we know that we want to come into places like this, especially on the road, and dictate our play and our principles, and I think that's what we're going to try and build on.
Some thoughts I had sort of big picture around this game. I, like you, have seen the news that Finn Serban has been receiving bids from big clubs over in England, and there is certainly top 5 league interest in Finn Serban. And I go back to the introductory press conference of Marty Cifuentes, where owner Merritt Paulson said, "It is the biggest pain in the ass when clubs from abroad try to come in for your players mid-season." Any MLS club knows that issue. It is the biggest reason for the calendar change overall. I sincerely hope, I am not reporting this, but I hope that Finn Serban remains a Timber for the rest of the season, because the back line would take a big step down without him. And it by no means is Serban pushing to leave the Timbers in this window. As for James Pantemis, who probably had the performance of the weekend and should be in the MLS team of the match day as the goalkeeper tomorrow, he is out of contract at the end of this year, and there's no club option. He is playing on the club option right now. And in the Marty Cifuentes system, it does prefer a goalkeeper that is good with his feet. As Pantemis is probably maybe the best shot stopper in MLS, he lacks a little bit in that quality. So whether he is a Timber next year or somebody else in MLS, he has made himself a lot of money with some of the performances he has put together this year. And this season is also the most games he has ever started for a club. What a performance this was.
I think that in one way we defended much deeper than what we wanted, but it was a kind of a choice. And second, I think that, of course, as I said, JP was very important to keep the team alive and get a valuable point on the road.
That'll do it for the Portland Timbers post-game report. I'll talk to you midweek for a media roundup ahead of the match with Austin, and of course on the Timber Review podcast all week long.